Hello, my beautiful Leos. Hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome back, welcome to my channel. I'm Lisa, and this is North Star Energy Healing. And today today is Friday, June 12th, and I'm doing your reading on the day that it will be posted. Friday, June 12th, we have the release of the movie Disclosure Day. Today is opening day for that movie. I plan to see it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to see it at the theater or if I'm going to wait until I can stream it. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. We'll see. I'm anxious to hear everybody's opinions about that movie, of course. So the other thing coming up, Leos, on Sunday, we have a new moon in Gemini, Sunday the 14th. So this is going to bring in an energy of communication, conversations, friendships, socializing. You may feel overly talkative during this new moon phase. The big thing to remember is that this is the time to set your intentions for what you want to happen over the next 28 to 30 days, right? The new moon to the full moon. So think about that. And you could feel highly social. I mean, Leos are pretty social anyway, but you may feel a pull to be even more social than you are normally. So that's what's coming in. Now, we're going to be using the Soul's Journey lesson cards by James Van Praagh for your overview oracle card, and then the main oracle deck for the end oracle message for you. All right, let's see what you got. I hope you're all doing well. Let me say that. Thank you for all the likes, views, subscribes. I couldn't be doing this without all of you. Okay. So from the Soul's Journey lesson card, you have blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. I accept responsibility for my well-being. Now, sometimes we are in a relationship and the other person does a lot for us, right? And sometimes if something doesn't get done or something doesn't work out, we tend to blame that person. Well, why didn't you pay that bill? Why didn't you set up my medications? Why didn't you, I don't know, just those types of things. That's kind of the vibe that I'm feeling with this, is that there's somebody that does a lot for you, and for some reason something doesn't get done, and then you're upset about it because you're used to that person doing it, right? But you have to accept responsibility for your own well-being. So the other message that's coming through on this is sometimes we're overweight or we don't exercise enough or something like that, and we're blaming it on everything else. I don't have time. I work too hard. I can't do this. I have to eat fast food because I'm in a hurry. So that, you need to take responsibility for how you're treating your body, Leos. What are you doing, right, to be well? All right. The other thing is, there are several things about this. If you're in a bad mood and you're blaming another person, well, why did they say that to me? Why do they think that about me? I know all about this and they're trying to tell me something different, and you get emotionally red is what I'm hearing. Red, like angry, anger, envy, those types of feelings. All of that has to do with your well-being, Leos. So for this week coming up, or whenever you come to this, think about how you've been feeling, how you've been treating your body, and possibly how you've been treating your partner, your wife, your husband, or even your project manager, or whoever that is that typically does things for you. I don't know why that message is coming through, but it feels like an energy of this happened because that person didn't do this, if that makes sense. So I have to give you what my guides are giving me, and that's kind of what they're giving me, is that there's some kind of energy about, you're putting the blame elsewhere when really you could have had control over that situation, or you could have done something about it. All right, well, that's interesting. I'm a Leo rising, so I'm thinking, how does this apply to me? But anyway, let me get focused. Okay, we're going to face the camera down and we're going to look at the tarot as I pull it, and then we'll look at the main oracle when we close out the reading. Okay, my beautiful Leos, here we go. We're using the Journey to Oz and Wonderland deck this week for this week's readings. And let's see, the deck has been, I was just about to say, the deck has been a little slow giving the cards for this week's readings, but let's see. Wow, yours just want to flip over inside the deck. Knight of Wands and the Moon. Could have something to do with that new moon in Gemini coming up. But that's Pisces energy. Knight of Wands is really fast-moving action, passion, energy, charging ahead, right? That's that Knight of Wands and you're a fire sign, and that's what Wands represent. So could be something that you're really going after, that you really want to get done, that you really want to do. I'm just trying to feel into that, still shuffling. Maybe I should just wait until I've got that card in my hand. All right. Oh my gosh, did it again. Look at all of your cards that have come out so far are doing that. Lost one on the floor. Okay. Oh my gosh. That's so strange that did that. A couple more wands coming out. High Priestess, tuning into your guides, tuning into your intuition, my Leos. Okay, Spirit, can we have one more card, please, for my beautiful Leos? One more card. Did it again. Flipped over inside the deck. Okay. All right, we're going to take these in the order in which they came out. So the first card, as I said, is the Knight of Wands. That is Jack Pumpkinhead. Now, I don't know whether that's from Alice or Oz. There are a lot of books other than, you know, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. There's a whole series, and I have read them all, but I don't remember every single thing. So he's charging ahead. He's happy. I guess you could tell by the way his pumpkin face looks there. Charging ahead. He's got a couple of wands in his hand. He's got, I don't know, this is kind of whimsical, right? But he is definitely going for it. Okay. So action, passion. What are you passionate about? What is the action that you are taking right now, my beautiful Leos? And where are you headed? It looks like a bright direction. So, accepting responsibility. Yeah, you're moving forward. You're doing it. You're the one creating it and doing the action. Then you have the Moon, the Cheshire Cat. I get distracted with the imagery on these cards. I think I say that every time I use them. So moon are things, the moon represents things that are hidden from you that you don't quite see yet, that haven't been revealed yet. It also can represent what you dream about at night. So if you've had any significant dreams, I would encourage you to write that down. This is also Pisces energy, right? Very nurturing, very loving energy. That's the Pisces is the romantic sign, right? So maybe you're going to have something romantic on that new moon on the 14th, or maybe you did, depending on when you watch this. And then you have the High Priestess. High Priestess is really connected to your inner gut feelings, your intuition, what you feel in your belly. Somebody asked me to explain that. Well, it's like when you get butterflies in your stomach or goosebumps or just that feeling that your body gives you, right? So tune into that, right? So the High Priestess is also between endings and beginnings. She is looking at a chessboard. So she's figuring out her next move, but she's listening to her intuition before she chooses that move. Every deck has a base meaning, but they all have their own energy. Oh, time to get rid of these roses, I guess. each deck has its own type of energy, even though the basic meanings are the same. But in this deck, the High Priestess is thinking about her next move, and that goes right along with it. So you're forging ahead very quickly, something you're passionate about. It could be something to do with romance, but you need to really tune into your intuition. Romance or something you're dreaming about, but it could be something that you're not seeing. So you may have to tune into your intuition, Leos, in order to figure that out. And then you have, this is the Five of Wands. So Five of Wands often is practice, right? Fives are change. So this could be an indication that whatever it is that you're heading toward with that Knight of Wands, you may need to think about it a little more. You may need to practice it. What I'm hearing is play it out in your head first. So if you're going to do something, think about, okay, when I do this, then that happens and that and that and that. And that ties right in to the fact that the High Priestess is looking at a chessboard. So what I'm feeling for the message for this Five of Wands is that you need to think about the result of your actions. I don't want to say consequences because that sounds negative, but when you're thinking about doing something, what is the next thing that's going to happen after you do it? I hope that doesn't sound too complicated, but that's what they're giving me. And then you have the Ten of Wands. More wands, more action, more passion, more fire, right? And this is Bill the Lizard, and he is on top of a roof, and he's got, it looks like he's got a sweep. Maybe he just cleaned the chimney, and he's got all those sticks there. Maybe he was repairing the roof, but this is a lot of work put in, a lot of effort, right? And tens are the completion of a cycle and the beginning of a brand new one. So if we're looking at the message here, you're charging ahead, right? Thinking about your next move, the chessboard, thinking about how each move is going to affect it, but you are going to get it done. It feels like whatever this is that you're trying to get done, there's something about that situation that you haven't seen yet that hasn't been revealed, right? Or it's a situation to do with romance. Now, action and passion, can that be romance? It absolutely can. So if some of you are, if this has to do with romance, and this is a collective reading, so it can't be pinpointed with one exact message. You have to take what resonates for you. For some of you, it may be a work project, right, that you're actioning. For some of you, it could be something to do with a romantic situation, right? And you're getting it done, but you're thinking about, I mean, for an example, you could be thinking about, well, I want to propose, and if I do it at the beach, then it's going to be this, or if I do it on this specific date, then this. So that's an example of thinking about it. If it's a project that you want to get done, you're thinking about, okay, I can do it on this day, but the weather doesn't look great. I can use these materials which cost X, or those materials which cost Y. So that has to do with the planning of it, right? Could be a vacation, so many things. But as I said, take what resonates and leave the rest. But you will get it done, right? And then you'll move on to the next thing. How do we know this? Because the next card is the Chariot. This is Cancer energy. This is more nurturing energy. Cancer is the sign of nurturing family, nurturing friends, the caretaker, the caregivers, right, of the signs. And I'm just looking back to feel and to see. So you have the energy of Cancer, the energy of Pisces, both nurturing, loving, possibly romantic energies. The Chariot is a victory that comes with a decision, okay? So that's what you have to remember about the Chariot is you are victorious in this, but once you are, you have to decide what your next move is. All of this is going back to that High Priestess chessboard, I feel. Like whatever you do, it's going to set into motion something else, like a domino effect, right? So whatever you do in your business or in your romance, it's going to have an outcome that leads to a different outcome, another outcome. And every choice we make leads us to different things. And remember, your first card was about you being responsible for your own well-being. So how that ties into this is whatever choices that you make about the situation, whatever the chess move is that you choose, it's going to have an outcome, and it will affect you, right? Mentally, emotionally, or physically. Wow, Leos, this is just, I've never had a reading like this with this type of message, right? Let's look at the main oracle deck message and then see if Spirit wants any other cards. 41 is a 5. Fives are change. The acorn. In some acorns, we see a certain tenacity that is not frequently found. Ignoring all doubters, an oak has grown mighty on the spot where a nut stood its ground. So this is basically saying one small thing that you do can grow into a large, strong, rooted, like an oak tree. So one small effort that you put in, one small choice that you make will lead to something else. If you're steadfast in what you do, it will be rooted. It will take root, right? And it will be strong, depending on the effort that you put in. But because this is 41 and a 5, you may have to change something you're doing. Maybe you're feeling like giving up on something, and maybe you need to stick with it. Now, I'm not telling you to do that. You need to figure out if that fits or how that fits, okay? All right, now let's see if Spirit has any other information, because this could be any number of things. Romance, business, work, coworker, even a coworker romance. It could be any of those things. Okay, so before I do that, so accepting responsibility for your own well-being, being tenacious about what it is you want to get done, forging ahead, action and passion. Something hasn't been revealed to you yet. You may need to use your intuition for that so you can figure out your chess move. 5 of Wands, a little bit. This is fives are change, but it's a practice card with the wands, action and passion, but it's also figuring out your next move so that you can get done, so that you can complete whatever that is. Once you complete that 10 of Wands, you have the victory of having it completed, but then you have to make a choice of what to do next. Wow, that's so interesting. All right, Ace of Wands, definitely something new. Page of Wands. This is a fiery reading everywhere, every which way. So the Ace of Wands is a new opportunity coming in, and look at that. Knight of Wands, again, double Knight of Wands. And then more choice. Okay, Leos, it can't be more, more clear, right? You're going to have action and passion about doing something. A new opportunity may come in after you finish that, right? And then the Page of Wands. This is double Page of Wands. That was your first card out. So that is moving ahead with action and passion, but it's also planning. And this Page of Wands has the 2 red cardinals. Listen to your intuition, which is exactly what the High Priestess said. And then you have, the Knight of Wands. This wasn't a Page of Wands. This was a Knight of Wands. There's the Knight of Wands. You do have a double Knight of Wands, but I just held up the wrong card. I apologize. The Page of Wands is the one trying to get the message through with the cardinals. The Knight of Wands is that double message about moving ahead very quickly, taking advantage of the opportunity that comes in, my Leos, right? 2 Knights of Wands, a Page of Wands, a 5 of Wands, a 10 of Wands. I mean, Wands, action, passion, all over the place. Then you have this 2 of Swords. Okay, the 2 of Swords is similar to the Moon card. You don't see the choice. There is a choice, but you don't see it yet. So pay attention to your nighttime dreams. Pay attention to something that may be around you that is an opportunity or an offer that you haven't noticed before or haven't tried before. Because once you get through all this, the opportunity comes in, you're going to forge ahead, listen to your gut, High Priestess, think about your moves, the chessboard, and then the 2 of Swords. So expand your view of what you could do, right? And then be steadfast in whatever it is that you want to achieve. Wow, Leos, this is jam-packed with messages. I would love to have a comment from you to know how this resonated, because it's very specific about moving forward, completing something, but planning your moves ahead of time, listening to your gut instincts and intuition, but also the moon and the two of swords telling you what I'm feeling is you're not going to see that other opportunity until you finish whatever this is. And then all of a sudden, this Ace of Wands, Two of Swords opportunity is revealed to you. Would love to know what that is. All right, Leos, until next week, peace and kindness every single day. I love you all.